A lot of people want me dead. They call it justice. I'm the only one who knows the truth. All I have left is the wind by my side.
What is up guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to play Yasuo and a new updated build. The old build with the Kraken Slayer, which was really OP, has been nerfed, so we are back to the normal build with a shield bow. But you're also going for one seal item because it makes your early game a lot stronger. The Yasuo's passive, of course you have that shield. Make sure that you do not waste it. The way you want to use it in the early game is when you walk up to last hit a low HP minion, you want to make sure that that passive shield is actually tanking the damage instead of you tanking it yourself. Because it will block out a decent amount of damage. And you also have a 2.5 multiplier on the crit chance, so when you have shield bow and something like an infinity edge, then you're going to have maxed out crit. And if you buy more than 100% crit, so excess crit is going to be turned into bonus AD, so you do not have to worry about getting too much crit. Use your Q to stay back and last hit. The first wave you want to let that push towards you, so when you get level 2 then you can start dashing and playing a bit more aggressive. EQ is going to form the spin. And when you get the tornado, that's like an easy way to hit people with a knock up. But focus on last hitting with a Q to start off with. And if the enemy champion is overextending, something like a Twisted Fate or any other mage, if you get close, then you're going to win the trade for sure. The only way you can lose it while you're even is if you're tanking too much damage from the minion wave, so always keep in mind how many minions the enemy champion has. But we got the flash out of the TF. I did not keep chasing him after he flashed out because he had a pretty big minion wave, so if the enemy jungler came or if I kept trading, then I would end up losing a lot of HP. But the way we showed in, then we can check out where the enemy jungler is at. This is basically what you get out of Prio. So right now we see Shyvana doing the Crux topside, so we know that she is not able to gank because she's pretty low HP. Going for the TF. Yeah, so I actually trolled a bit right here. I did not use my Q because it would slow me down. So if I missed one Q, then I would not be able to catch him. So instead I just kept walking towards him because he constantly tried to sidestep. So if he keeps trying to sidestep without me using a Q, it will slow him down. But I should just use the Q at the end because then I would have survived and gotten the kill as well. But you traded 1 for 1, so that's fine. So you have the W, guys. Do be careful that you do not waste it in the early game because it has a very high cooldown. So again, something like a Twisted Fate, you would save it for his gold card when you're fighting. You could also save it to deny him CS. Right here we denied him 2 abilities, so that's super worth it. Because that's going to stop him from being able to wave clear, so we just get to shove in a massive wave for free. Also your E, the dash, will always dash a fixed distance. That means that if you stand closer to the target and then dash, you're going to dash a lot further. And this is something we can abuse, especially when you want to dash from a monster camp to the other side of the lane, because that is what makes it possible. We can turn around here and go for the TF because his flash is down, so there's no way this guy is getting out. And that guy is toast, then we just stay mid. So Yasuo is a champion that is very hard to master. He's very mobile if you have minion waves around you. If you don't, then he's pretty immobile because there's a short cooldown on each target that you dash to. So make sure that you actually do have targets that you can dash to in fights. Also, the cooldown of your E is based on attack speed. That is why we are getting items like the Berserker's Greaves and other attack speed items, because they will lower the cooldown of the Q. Also, the dashing speed of your E is based on movement speed. So that's another benefit of getting Berserkers, tier 2 boots early on, is that the dash also comes out a lot faster, making you a lot more mobile. So now I'm playing as a Twisted Fate. When he gets level 6, he will of course look to TP to the other lanes. In that case, I'll be trying to shove him in over and over, but in other matchups I would usually let them push so I can set up a freeze close to my tower, because then when they walk up to last hit, then I can dash to them and get a good trade off. So constantly dash around the minions, try to poke with your Qs, go for short trades. With your ultimate up, then you can look for the all-ins. You can ult off of allied knockups or displacement abilities. The Malphite ultimate is a knockup, and also Trundle's Pillar, that's considered a displacement ability. That also works, but for something like a Trundle's Pillar, you have to be very fast at pressing your ultimate because you don't have that much time to react to it. When you do ult though, or for something like a Malphite ultimate, do not press your ultimate immediately. Try to wait it out until the last possible second, then use your ultimate, because then you maximize the time they are CC'd. And that is something that's very important to know when you play Yasuo. And other champions will CC similar to Yasuo's ultimate. Also, you also have that free armor pen when your ultimate is up, so your auto attacks are going to shred people. But you only get that armor pen when you crit. That is another reason why it's really important to max out the crit on Yasuo. It's way more important getting max crit on Yasuo than it is on Yone. So always rush the crit items first and then you get something else afterwards. So we have the Berserkers right now, and then you can opt into Seal. You do that because it makes your early game a lot stronger. That's like a Riven gang coming in here. I had to flash out and then take the blast cone because otherwise I might risk dying, and that is not something we want to have happening to us this early on in the game, because that would let Twisted Fate TP for free. We have to keep up the pressure against something like a TF in the mid lane, because we have been pressuring him pretty well so far. So we got his summoners out once again. He's really low HP and we got a massive wave crashing into his tower. I just walked up a little bit to cancel his recall, because this lane is in a very good position for us right now. This wave is gonna bounce back to us. He lost his summoners, meaning that it's a lot harder for him to escape, but also to pull off plays. Just showing the wave. You have really good wave clear. That's a benefit of playing Yasuo, is that he does not use any mana. So he has really low cooldowns, meaning that you can always push out the waves really fast because of your AoE damage. We got the seal item. We will only be sitting on the component for now. Berserkers plus seal, very strong early game. It's going to make your laning phase a lot stronger. Now we're going to opt into the mythic item, which is going to be the shield bow. After the Kraken Slayer nerfs, there is simply no reason to get anything else than shield bow right now. Also for the keystone guys, I do prefer Conqueror myself, but Lethal Tempo is the most used keystone on Yasuo right now, so that is the reason I'm showing that. But if you like Conqueror, then of course go for it, because it scales a lot better. Lethal Tempo makes your early game super strong, but Conqueror makes your late game way stronger. So it really depends what you're playing for. If you want a lot stronger early game, then you can go for the Lethal Tempo. We can look for roam bot side. Unfortunately, this roam did not end up in a kill because our support backed up all the way for some reason. I don't know why, so They got to escape. But it's fine, we can just take away the skull crab and then we will head back to lane. You can still roam on these champions, but it's a lot better if you have someone who can set up for you. So if you have an Alistar or a Nautilus, that would be absolutely perfect because they have knockups that you can ult off of, so that makes your ganks a lot stronger. Also guys, when you ult, try to get an EQ combo off on the minions, because then you're going to transfer the damage towards the target that you're ulting to. And that's also going to give you a free Q stack, so your tornado comes up a lot faster. Also there's like a hidden cooldown refund on your Q when you do the EQ combo. So how it works is that when there's almost no cooldown on your Q left, you can EQ to a minion and it's going to instantly refund that Q. That is what allows Yasuo to pull off some of those OP combos. But the most important one you have to know is that you can do the EQ flash, because that's going to transfer the knock up to the new position. And then you also want to make sure that every single time you're able to ult, if you can, try to do an EQ before you press that ultimate, to transfer the damage but also to give you a free Q stack. And if you do want to use the monster cams to dash to the other side of the wall with, what I can highly recommend is that you bind a key to target champions only. What it does is that it makes it so you do not accidentally auto attack the monsters, because then they'll be moving towards you and then it might become really difficult or impossible to use them to dash to the other side of the wall with. I have the key bound to my C, but you can use it on any button that's comfortable. Try to go for another dive right here. His ignite is down. And we are far ahead CS wise, so that's completely fine. And now there's a Shyvana chasing us. We should be completely fine because we had the Belweth with us. Nice, we're gonna get a double kill right here. So I missed the tornado, unfortunately. It can be a bit difficult to land, especially if they have bonus movement speed, because it comes out pretty slow, so it's quite easy to dodge. But I had to burn the flash, but in exchange I got up 2 kills. Super worth it. So now we're sitting on a ton of gold, so we definitely want to base. We have our bot lane and top lane speed running, but we are doing pretty well mid lane, and the jungle is also doing quite well, so this is a game that you can definitely end up carrying if you're snowballing. Now we have the shield bow, we have the seal, we have the berserkers. So if you were playing in bad matchups previously, now is the time where you can actually start turning it around. Because that passive shield of yours and then the shield from the shield bow is going to tank a lot of damage. But the big power spike comes in when you finish the Infinity Edge. That is where you start demolishing especially the mages. Just roaming around the river here in case we need a counter gank. I always like to roam a lot, especially when my laners are losing, because then you can help impacting the lanes a lot more. But we have to disengage right here because people are getting pretty low HP, and Sever also barely has any mana left, so we will just back off and get back to lane. Not sure what the Sever is doing. That was very questionable. But I just stay bot then, so Belva should hit mid, then I can make sure they're not getting anything in the bottom side if I show out this wave. So I'm defending bot lane for my AD carry and the support, and then I can just go ahead and reset because my jungler is defending mid. And with the cloak we have full crit, And as I said, full crit is really important on Yasuo because of the way that your ultimate works, because you only get that bonus armor pen on crits. So if you don't crit, then you don't get the benefit from it. That's why you want to get 100% crit chance ASAP. The tornado, guys, you want to save it for the key CC ability. When you play against something like a Syndra or a Twisted Fate, Twisted Fate has his gold card, Syndra has her E, which is the only disengaging ability. So if you use the tornado right and you block that out with, then you can just run them down. So that is how you want to use it. Later on in the game, when the team fights and such starts happening, you can also use it to peel your teammates, block out incoming ultimate abilities and stuff. For example, like the Braum ultimate, that is absolutely huge, Ezreal ultimate, Riven ultimate, and so on. But it will always have a high cooldown, so in a fight, typically you will only be able to use it once, so do be careful and do not waste it. Don't just use it because you're going to tank one auto attack, that is not worth it. Unless you're going to die, of course, but otherwise save it for something important. To make sure that people cannot trade back when you're in melee range, that's absolutely huge. Or to block out really important CC abilities. Nice, we got the Ezreal, Bel'Veth got the Shyvana, and we also got the Drake, I think, so that's absolutely worth it. Now Bel'Veth actually took down the Herald, so she has the empowered ultimate stack, meaning that she gets these small wildlings that we can abuse right now to shove in. So we're gonna try to take down 2 towers. Gonna keep pushing. Look at how many wildlings we're getting. Every single time a minion dies, there's going to be a wildling with this empowered ultimate stack. Now we just have to disengage, because they have a lot of people coming up, and my ultimate was also on cooldown. Do not use your ultimate just because somebody lands a knockup. Really do think about if you can actually get the kill. Or think about if multiple enemy players will be waiting for you. Don't just use your ultimate because somebody thinks that as soon as somebody's knocked up you have to ult. Be smart about it and only do it when you can actually get something out of it. If you're using that ultimate means that you're going to be within range of 4 other players while no allied targets are nearby, then do not do it. Man, that damage, the true damage from Bel'Veth is absolutely nuts. But she got the Blade of the Ruined King right now and we almost have enough gold for the Infinity, so that's what we are waiting for. You want to be in the side lane in the mid game? You do that because you have a lot of mobility, so people in the mid lane you were previously not able to kill, that should definitely happen in the side lane. Because it's a lot harder to escape from Yasuo when you're on the side lane in an extended lane where you have a lot of minions. We got 2 really fast kills and then we had to get out because the wind wall was down for the Twisted Fate gold card, otherwise I would have kept chasing. But it is a champion where you can pull off a lot of cool plays if you master him. But as I said, he's very difficult to pick up and play, and also very difficult to master. So if you're going to play him, of course go for it if you enjoy playing the champion, but do keep in mind that if you want to get really good at him, you have to spend a lot of time. Good thing is that he works both as an AD carry, mid laner and top laner. So he's pretty versatile when it comes to the roles, because you don't always need to get mid lane in order to play him. Top lane will be a lot harder though, because there are some really bad matchups. And another free kill, and we'll take it, and then we'll just head back to top lane to defend the tower, and then maybe we can also get the low HP tower. I do like to split push a lot. And that's something you should also be doing a lot, because that is the only way that you can be or get those high CS numbers. Like if you want to get that 9 or 10 CS per minute, split pushing is a must. You pick up the waves, then you head into the enemy jungle, pick up the jungle camps as well, and then just repeat that. That is how you get high CS numbers, but sometimes you won't be able to do that when they're constant fighting. So if you play in low elos, you will not always be able to get a lot of CS. But in general, you should be able to get at least 7 CS per minute every single game. If you play it right. It does not matter if they're constant fighting. At least 7 CS per minute on this champion and you should be able to climb out of low elo. We got the Infinity Edge, and then we also got the Mortal Reminder for the anti-healing against the Yuumi. Also the Riven. That is going to deny a lot of healing from that team, and we are overcapping in CD or a crit chance, but that does not matter. As I said, if you get excess crit chance, that is going to be turned into bonus AD. And when you have full crit, you just start one-shotting the wave, so your wave clear is even better. We'll just pick up the free kills because they tanked a double knock-up. Also guys, what counters Yasuo is point and click CC. So if somebody hits you with a point and click CC like the gold card in a team fight, you'll usually end up dying if you don't have anybody to peel for you, because it's very squishy, so if you get caught by CC, they're gonna chain CC and then burst you down. So be really careful in fights. If you're not able to land a multiple knockup by yourself, then wait for somebody to engage for you. Wait for them to use really important abilities like mobility spells, ultimates, CC abilities and so on, and then you can go in. Because then you lower the chances of you getting focused down immediately and then bursted down. Whoops, I am tanking the tower, need to get out. And if you get CC'd, like I did right here, you're not able to use your ultimate. You have to make sure that you're standing within the range, but also that you're not able to get CC'd while you have to go in and ult. I'm not quite sure what this Twist of Fate was going for, but that turned out to be super worth it for us. And that also results in us getting the Shyvana, so that means we can go for the Baron right now, and that is what we will be using to close out the game with. But you see, be really patient on Yasuo. That is the problem with a lot of Yasuo players, is that they're not patient and they're playing way too aggressive. You want to play aggressive with this champion in the laning phase, but you have to be smart about it. Because if you play way too aggressive, you'll end up getting camped. Yasuo is really easy to gank. If he does not have minions around him, he has no mobility. And he's also very squishy, right? So people will be looking to gank you. So play smart and play aggressive when you know where the enemy jungler is, or if you at least know that you can easily 1 versus 2. Have really good vision and also map awareness, and that way you can actually pull off a lot more with Yasuo. I'm just clearing out the jungle camps on the way to the bot lane. The mid side is completely down, so no point in going mid anymore unless we can wipe out that team. So if you have the Baron buff and the inhibitors down in the mid lane like this, then do not go mid. Unless you can one-shot the entire team immediately and then end the game, then you can do that. But this is the best way, is that when the stuff is down mid, then you just go bot or top side and then you take down the towers. Down the ribbon goes, we have a lot of minions with us and the Voidlings once again absolutely broken. That being a thing. But we can just go ahead and end the game now. So that was how to play Yasuo and also his updated build, guys. Really hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching and see y'all next time.